The Dog's Children by Angeline Williams. Read by Frank Blissett. Some people dwelt on islands. I know those islands. Beaver Island and Fox Island. That is where Indians must have dwelt of old. They named those islands, that one big island, Big Dog Island, and one is smaller, Little Dog Island it is called. A certain young woman took along her father's dog wherever she went. Then in time that woman understood the speech of that dog. It was a male dog. She kept going to all sorts of places. She was always gathering basswood bark. Then she always had that male dog with her. Then at one time he spoke to her. He told her all kinds of things. He asked her to marry him. She consented. So then they began to live together, after midwinter, living together like human beings that are married to one another. She always had him with her. Then she conceived children. Soon she got very big with those children, towards springtime. Then the dog who was her husband said to her, "Let us go away. Let us move camp. We shall go to an island. You will make a raft that we may cross over to that island. When we are ready to set out, there will be a fair wind for our crossing. Be sure to take along your utensils which you use when you cook, and your blankets with which you cover yourself when you sleep, and your axe and your knife." Then in the morning she got ready. Her mother said to her, "What is the matter with you that you are so big?" "Why, I am big with children." "Where did you get the child?" "Do not worry about where I got it." Then she got ready. She quickly made a raft. The dog helped her, her husband. She made everything she had been told by her husband, the dog. Then they embarked and sailed across. They had a very good breeze, and they disembarked there on the island. "We shall build a house," the one who was her husband told her. He was not really that. She saw him in the shape of a man. He was really a dog. He was not really a human being. Then she set about felling trees and made a big conical lodge. He helped her haul logs and balsam branches. Also she cut bark to make her house in the proper way. When she had completed the house, she lined it with balsam boughs everywhere within. She made it very well. He helped her in all this too. "What do you want to eat?" "Fish." "What kind of fish do you want to eat?" "I should like to eat some sturgeon." "Very well. In the morning I will go get some." When she awoke in the morning, he had already arrived. "Well, please get up. Clean the fish. You will boil the sturgeon so that we may eat." She went and cleaned fish at the water's edge. The sturgeon was very fine. Her kettle was full to the brim as she boiled them. Then they had their meal. "We really have good eating." "Whatever you ask me that you want to eat, I shall bring it all. For instance, if you want to eat meat." "Later on, when the deer are good, you might kill some." After a time, the deer were good. Then he killed deer. Every morning the dog went hunting for whatever his wife wanted to eat. One evening she fell ill. "I am ill," she said to him. "Have you made everything ready?" "Yes, I have prepared." "You will not be ill long," he told her, who was her husband. Really, in a short while she gave birth to 6 children. 3 were shaped like her, and 3 were shaped like the dog. Then she got well. "Get up, I will clean you." Then she got up. He licked her all over and cleaned her. "This is so that tomorrow you may be as you were. Be sure to wrap our children up warm." Then she went to sleep. In the morning they cried out. The ones squealed like puppies, the others wept. They made the sound that children make when they weep. Then she got up and nursed her young. She suckled them all. Then she again wrapped her children up warm. 3 had the form of dogs, the others had human form. "Come, do your cooking. You will make broth. Tell me what you want to cook, meat or fish." "Fish." "I will fetch some at once." He fetched a sturgeon from the water's edge. Then the woman rose from where she sat. She was not ill at all from having borne children the night before. Then she did her cooking, and they had their meal. She felt very well. She was very light. After 10 days, those 3 opened their eyes. Those other 3, who had human form, had opened their eyes from the beginning. After 1 more day, they were walking about. Both those who were in the shape of human beings and those who were in the shape of dogs now ran about together and played. All her children spoke to her. She understood the speech of all of them. They, too, understood what she said to them. She had children 3 times. Her house was full of them. She was helped at her work by those of human form, and in the same way those others were helped by them, those puppies who in the course of time had grown up. They in the same way went hunting. They had very much to eat, as he was helped by his children. Also, no less in winter, he had food for them to eat. When autumn came, "I shall kill lots of fish so that we have enough provisions for the whole winter, for who knows when I shall kill a deer?" Then she stored away all the fish, putting them away somewhere. "We shall always have fish to eat." They lived very well. Then one time her brothers came where she was. They came to see how she was. "How are you?" they asked her. She told them, "I am very well off. Whatever I want to eat is brought to me." All her children were sitting in a row in the house. From afar they all knew that human beings were coming to them. She had warned them, "Pay no attention to those who come. They are your uncles," she had said to her children. Some of them barked. The rest called out with human voices. Then those men, her brothers, went back home. Then they all consulted together. "It will not be well at all if with all human beings it goes thus, with the human beings who will live in the course of time. Well, we shall needs have to kill them. It would be well if this were to be done. Well, our brother-in-law will be very angry," they said. "No, we shall first smoke before we set out. He might kill us, you know." Then, after all had smoked together, they made ready, all of them in a group. They carried guns as they went. Then he knew about them in the night. "Now in the morning they will come and kill us," he told his wife. "How is that?" "That is what they have decided upon, having smoked, your brothers." Then the woman wept bitterly through the night. "It is frightful that they mean thus to destroy my children," she said. "There is no use your thinking about it. It seems, you see, they have made up their minds to go through with it," said her husband. She spoke to each and all of her children. She did not sleep all night. Then in the morning they saw a canoe as those others came toward them. It was her brothers. "Well, so now they are coming to kill us. At any rate, I shall not simply give over." The man instructed all his children, "Help me." Then soon they came near, and all the young dogs jumped into the water. They swam. Their father was at the head. They fired many shots at their brother-in-law. In the end they killed him. Also those young dogs, all the children of that dog who were like him in shape, they killed off, all of them. The woman had placed indoors all those who were human in form. She was weeping bitterly. "Now all my children have been killed," she said. Then they came and addressed their sister. "Do not give thought to it. Surely you must know that it will not be good if it goes thus with the people who are to live in the future course of time, if it is to be with them as you have been now. I shall take away from here those children of yours that are human in form." There were 3 girls. "Do not weep. Get ready. We shall lavish great love on these girls of yours. Wash your face. Clean yourself. You smell very bad. Wash your girls' faces. When you are ready, come and embark." The woman said to them, "Lay away all my children," she said to her brothers. "Indeed, we shall carefully lay them away." They dragged them all to one place. They put them all together. They buried them. Then they set fire to the whole of the house. All of this time the woman wept grievously. She was desperate in her heart. Then she wanted to take along her store of food. "No, do not trouble yourself with it. You will eat when we get to our home," they told her. Then they went away from there and ferried across. The other people, too, off there from where they had set out, had made their preparations. Medicine had been prepared in a great kettle. When they arrived, all of them were given a bath. Then they were given that medicine to drink. When they had done all this, they were given breakfast. Those girls ate with great appetite, but the woman ate very little. Then she was addressed and carefully told how to look upon things. "It will not be well if this way in which you have fared be the way of things, the way they are to fare who will live as mortals in the course of time. You will be well cared for until you have ceased to live." Then, in fact, after a time, she felt better. This is the end of the story. of how some people must have fared once upon a time. Now that island is called Little Dog Island. Another, Big Dog Island, is right close by. This is the end of the story. My grandmother told it to me. Nowadays, some few persons do that way, secretly living with dogs. That was The Dog's Children by Angeline Williams. Read by Frank Blissett.